Hey, it's another episode of the Raising Sons podcast. And yes, I am in my car once again, but I'm in my car because I'm waiting at my son's school because I have an appointment. And I was like, you know what? We're in the car. We're waiting. Let's just record the podcast, the YouTube podcast. So if you're not watching this on YouTube, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you can go over and check it out. But today on the podcast, I want to talk about community. This is the last podcast episode for May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And last episode, I talked about maintaining your mental health and the things that I was doing to maintain my mental health. Well, today I want to talk about maintaining our mental health in terms of community and what that can look like. And what made me think about this was about a week or so ago, I traveled to New Orleans to present at a conference, and my husband came with me to the conference. I thought about, how much he helped me. So, he carried my bags, he drove, he was in the session recording, taking video shots and things like that. And so what that helped me do is not stress about, okay, how am I going to get there? How am I going to carry all these things? Who's going to record? Do I ask somebody while I'm there? Or do I try to set up a tripod? Because he was there, he was able to do those things. I could focus on the things that I was there to do, which was to provide the training and present. And so I don't know that anybody has ever thought about how community, how support enables, or maybe not enables, but how support and community serves as a protective factor for your mental health, right? Because we know that stress affects everything. It affects your mind, it affects your body, it affects everything. So it's important that we have community, that we have support to, and not just in the case that I'm using, but as a parent raising sons. I was just reading something about being a mom to boys and how energetic, how they like to just move and are energized and all the things. In order to be a parent and to do it, maintaining your mental health, you need support. You need a village. There is a reason why they say it takes a village to raise a child, because it does. Because you get tired. You get tired and you need help. You just need a break sometimes. And so if you don't have support, and that can look a myriad of ways. So if you're, someone you're like, I don't have a lot of family support, where do I find support? Your child's school could be support. It could serve as a support, right? Being able to drop them off in a safe place can be a support for your mental health. Also, connecting with people at the school, whether it be another parent, whether it be one of the teaching assistants or a teacher that offers services on the side. I know at my son's school, there have been TAs that have nanny services, or they have pickup services, or they have, babysitting services as an aside. And you've been able to develop a relationship and a rapport with them, so you trust them. And so they may become part of your village, part of your community. And so that's one way. Or if your child is in, daycare or an after school program, they also can be part of your community. It doesn't always, and it's not always family. In my case, my mom and my dad and my mother-in-law, sometimes my sister, my aunt, my niece, they all contribute into making my village, into support, my youngest son's godfather. And so if I need help doing something, then they are there to support. And so, but it doesn't always look like family. It can look like friends. There's a mom that I was talking to. Her son is on the autism spectrum, and she was new to the city, and she really didn't know anybody. So she became friends with a mom whose son was also autistic, but he was a little bit older. And so they leaned and relied on each other to pick up and drop off. And especially in that case, because this particular mom knew how to handle her son's meltdowns and the things that came along with her son having autism. She was familiar. And so this mom trusted her, and she became part of her village. So if you are a mom and you're like, I need a village, how do I find it? Those are some ways. So not only in terms of parenting and having help with your kids, but what is your level of support for you as a woman, as a person? What is your level of support? And that can look like friendships. That can look like co-workers, that can look like church members, that can look like maybe they're online, but you do need a sense of community. You need somewhere to just kind of let down your hair and just to be you. Be not somebody's mama, not somebody's wife, but just to be you, who you are, who God created and made you to be. And so who are those people where you can just kind of let down your hair with? And if you don't have a group, create one or find one. There are all kinds of ways to meet people. There are meetups, but there's work, there's church. If you do church, there's community events. There's even moms that may be part of your community because your kids are in school together. And so you all find some commonality, and that can be part of your community. But this is aside from being a mom. This is just somebody that you can talk to, that you can go to, that you can do fun things with, things that you enjoy. That is what I'm talking about. So you need community and you need support for that. So not only community and support for raising kids, but you need community and support for yourself as a person, as a whole woman, before kids, before all the other things. And then you need community and support as a professional, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a teacher, whatever your profession is, you need some kind of community. You need somebody that you can talk to, that you can run ideas by, somebody that can give you ideas and help you to sharpen the things that you're doing. And again, that can look like coworkers. That can look like people that you've met online. It can look a myriad of ways, but you need some level of support too as a protective factor for your mental health, because work can be stressful. Work can be a lot of things. And without that community, there's burnout. There's all kinds of things. So you need support as a parent. You need support as a woman, just for who you are, who God designed you to be. You need support at work. You need support. Support is a protective factor in helping you to maintain your mental health. And whatever the ways that you need to go about obtaining those supportive connections, I highly encourage you to develop them. One, maintain your mental health. And that's so important. We know that mental health, we spend so much time focused on our physical health. We'll go to the doctor. We will make sure that our bodies are in line. But if our minds aren't in line, then that's not really helping our bodies. It's all interconnected. I highly encourage you, as Mental Health Awareness Month draws to a close, to find you a community of support for all the different facets of your life. Parenting, just being you, work, in all of those areas. And I'm not talking about a multitude of people. You don't need 500 people. You just need one or two. And so I want to encourage you that if you don't have a support group, if you don't have support, if you don't have community, to start to build community in those spaces, in those places. And there are other, spaces and places that you might find that you need community. And I didn't name them. And so build that for yourself, because it's so important that in terms of maintaining your mental health, you need community, you need support. And as we segue, so that's all I have for you all today on this podcast episode. I would love to know what other things you love for me to discuss. So drop it in the comment box below. Or if you're listening to this audio, send me an email or text me. The text number will be in the show notes. It'll also be in the description box. Send me a text and let me know this is something I'd like to hear on the podcast. Lastly, if you are a parent and you're navigating behavioral challenges, if you're navigating a recent diagnosis of a disability for your son, I am here to support you. As part of your community, schedule a parent navigation session using the link below. All right, y'all. Until next time.